This is a natural dietary supplement extract from tropical sorghum biocolor, researched, refined and confirmed as a powerful antioxidant. It will increase your blood to required levels and boost your immune system rapidly. Jobeline improves the fertility rate in both men and women. Jobeline protects and provides energy for mother and child all through pregnancy and at childbirth. Jobeline purifies your blood. It deters and effectively controls chronic heart diseases and blood-related conditions. Daily intake of Jobeline protects the body from infections and guarantees a healthy and happy family. Jobeline has no known adverse effect. Produced by Health Forever Products Limited, Dikpeolu Street off Obafemi Awolowo Way, Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. Available in sachets and capsules for adults and syrup for children in all leading pharmaceuticals nationwide. Consult your physician for prescription.
30 capsule Jobeline now comes in a new pack.
Live healthy. Live Jobeline.
The force applied to the heart to push the blood flow through the blood cells all around the human anatomy is called blood pressure. Any obstruction within the blood vessels will force the heart to use a higher pressure to achieve blood circulation. The value of this pressure is measured at different periods.
Basically, blood pressure is the force used by the heart to push blood out of its left ventricle, to push this blood all around the whole body so that this blood gets to all the nooks and corners of the human body. After all, blood is the liquid that sustains life.
BP reading is given as the systolic over diastolic pressure in mmHg of mercury. BPs vary according to so many factors that basically influence the blood circulation. Its value ranges from systolic 90 to 140 and diastolic 60 to 90 mmHg. Values higher than that is referred to as hypertension, while those lower are referred to as hypotension. The instrument used to measure BP is called sphygmomanometer. The modern types are adapted to measure BP electronically. Both hypertension and hypotension are bad for the human system, but today we focus on hypertension.
Well, I think I have to be very simple with the explanation of how blood pressure is measured, because it is measured with an instrument called a sphig. Don't worry about the spelling, it's just S-F-I-G. That is how it is pronounced. In reality, it is spelled S-P-H-Y-G-M-O, sphygmomanometer. Manometer is an instrument that is used to measure. It is usually applied to the upper arm. Pressure is applied to completely block the flow of blood from the brachial artery. And then the pressure that blocks the flow of blood and the pressure at which blood just flows through this brachial artery distally are the two combinations. So the pressure that blocks the blood flow is called the systolic blood pressure, which is normally between 140 maximally accepted to 90 millimeters of mercury. And when this blood blockage is just permitted to flow through, this is the diastolic blood pressure, which is usually between 90 millimeters of mercury to 60 millimeters of mercury. In simple language that you will understand is the blood, the force with which the heart pushes the blood all around the human body, and the pressure which exists within the blood vessels when this exit, removal of blood has occurred. It's called the diastolic. When the blood pressure is above 140 millimeters of mercury, we talk about hypertension, and when it is below 90, we talk about hypotension.
Various factors could lead to hypertension. The different stress factors in the modern man will lead to hypertension. Fried oily foods alongside high consumption of stimulants, Diseases of the kidney, of the heart, as well as diseases that harm the blood vessels like diabetes mellitus will all lead to hypertension. There is also a special type of hypertension that is triggered by pregnancy and is often fatal.
All the causes are numerous. When I was young, it was believed that hypertension is caused by people thinking too much. Well, that is one of the causes of hypertension, which is stress. Too much work, too much thinking, sleepless nights that are as a result of the stress involved in those three things I've mentioned. You see, during stress, a stimulant, a natural stimulant in the human body called adrenaline is released. This causes the blood vessels, the capillaries especially, to contract. This contraction of the blood vessels, the capillaries, makes it more and more difficult for the heart to pump blood around. And this causes the heart to use a higher value. This is why the blood pressure goes high. Other causes are the type of diet you consumed. Of all the horrible diets that human beings of the 21st century consumes, I think I will single out oily foods, that is fats and oil, which causes the release of cholesterol in the circulation. And this cholesterol is usually the precursor, that is what brings forth the formation of atherosclerosis, which finally blocks the blood vessels and makes it more and more difficult for the heart to pump blood around, and therefore needs to apply a higher blood pressure to be able to circulate blood. Furthermore, kidney diseases like kidney failure, kidney infection, kidney injuries, even malarial infection to the kidney repeatedly will lead to a formation of a substance called angiotensin within the angiotensin-renin system. This triggers the contraction of blood vessels, the arteries, due to the angiotensin so release, causing hypertension. Apart from that, consumption of stimulants, coffee, which contains caffeine, and don't forget your Coca-Cola. It's not a hidden secret. It's written on the cap. All the types of cokes you consume contain caffeine. And caffeine as a stimulant causes contraction of the blood vessels and leads to hypertension. Cola nut, for example, also contains stimulants which increase your blood pressure. Apart from that, steroids that the youths take, to perform better, anabolic steroids that gives you all the muscles that you need to show off, they also directly cause hypertension. I forgot to mention that in the food that we consume, salt. Consumption of salt, for example, plays a very horrible part in the formation of hypertension by leading to retention of fluid in the circulatory system. When this fluid is stored because of the salt, it increases the volume of the circulation and therefore leads to hypertension.
Hypertension has been recognized as one of the main causes of illness and death in the 21st century. The modern man's lifestyle definitely predisposes to hypertension. Therefore, correcting this scourge simply acts as a form of prophylactic treatment, reducing the stress we encounter daily, avoiding fats and oils in our diet, staying clear of steroid and stimulants, correct and timely management of kidney diseases, diabetes mellitus, and diseases that damage the blood vessels will curtail development of hypertension.
Furthermore, conditions like diabetes mellitus, which leads to too much sugar in the blood system, causes damages and destruction of the surface cells, the endothelial cells of the capillaries, ruffles them up, causes inflammation on them, and encourages deposit of so many substances, which encourages the formation of atherosclerosis in the arterial system. This, that is diabetes mellitus, should therefore be recognized as one of the major causes of hypertension in the adult Homo sapiens. And of course, preeclamptic toxemia. We still don't know exactly where this comes in, but we know that a substance which has been recognized and given the name substance X is responsible for causing this damaging effect within a pregnant woman. They call it PET, preeclamptic toxemia, of pregnancy, and this substance X stimulates the kidney and leads to the release of angiotensin and renin-line substances, which boost and pushes up the blood vessels. And apart from that, you see, the free oxygen radicals that we're talking about, when it is too much in your blood circulation, causes damages to the cell wall, the adventitious walls of the capillaries, and makes them to harden and stiffen, destroying the elastic fibers of the capillaries. This, in essence, is one of the major ways that hypertension can be caused in human beings without any preempted intention of taking things that increase their blood pressure.
It is becoming very obvious that regular introduction of powerful antioxidants in heavy dosages in our system to mop up, control, and neutralize the high level of free oxygen radicals in the modern man's system keeps in check the development of cardiovascular diseases, especially hypertension.
Let's take the treatment of hypertension, which you call high blood pressure, from a very simple perspective. Let's start from the way life is measured, psychosocial methods, reducing stress from your life, at work, your lifestyle, the way you think. They say religion helps, because by having a belief in a particular type of religion, you have something to lean on, to put all your problems onto, and therefore you feel more relaxed. Psychological counseling helps a lot by giving you back your confidence so that you don't get perturbed by all the things, all the worries that we see in nature. There is a claim that yoga helps to relax the mind, helps to relax the system, and therefore helps to relax the blood pressure. So also is acupuncture, which has been practiced in the Orientals for centuries. It is believed that the effect of yoga and acupuncture combined goes a long way to help the Orientals control their blood pressure. Secondly, let me quickly mention the correct diet. It is very simple. It must be low in oil and fats. It must be low in sugar. By curtailing all these kinds of diet that contains fat and oil, sugar, and I mentioned salt, your blood pressure can be controlled in a lot of ways. Reduce the free oxygen radicals that you consume, and therefore, to easily accomplish this, take a lot of fruits and vegetables day in, day out. If you cannot manage this because of the discomfort caused by this, please, for God's sake, take Jobelin. Jobelin is the easiest way out of increasing the quantity of antioxidants and therefore suppressing the quantity of free radicals in your circulation. Because if you don't have too much of free radicals in your system, the cholesterol will not be sticky, they will not stick to the walls of the blood vessels, and as such, the cholesterol will not stick to form atherosclerosis. And of course, if you suspect you have hypertension and you cannot remember anything I've told you in this little presentation, please immediately see your doctor. Because when you start having headaches and you start to have aches and pains and you don't know what it is, go to a hospital. Let them check. Perchance, maybe you have hypertension. And of course, when you have hypertension, your doctor will be very well equipped to manage your condition.